Hello, Finance and Governance Committee members, city staff, and members of the public. My name is Helen Miller, and I'm the City of Oxnard's Chief Information Officer. Today, I'm presenting this agenda item requesting purchasing authorization from Insight Public Sector, Inc. The recommendation is that the Finance and Governance Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the mayor to extend purchase order 8481 for information technology goods and services with Insight Public Sector, Inc. by revising its expiration date from February 15th, 2024 to June 30th, 2026, and raising the not to exceed amount from $770,000 to $2,635,000 over an additional 12-month period. So what is network infrastructure? Network infrastructure refers to all hardware, software, services, and facilities of a computer network that make network or internet connectivity, management, business operations, and communication possible. Our city's current network is comprised of 200 plus physical components, which support the delivery of resident services across our 27 city sites. In October 2019, Council approved network infrastructure refresh funding to replace and upgrade unsupported and unsecured hardware components. At that time, the average age of network equipment was 12 years old. The current state, in the 3.5 years since the network refresh program began, IT has replaced and upgraded portions of the network, embracing current modern network design and architectural concepts, and reduced the average equipment age from 12 years to 5 years. This is a 58% improvement. However, there are still network components as old as 9 years. Useful life is typically no more than 5 to 7 years. Equipment is already or soon to be decertified by the manufacturer, meaning the city remains dependent upon obsolete or soon to be obsolete network infrastructure. Maintaining a refreshed network provides significant benefits to the city, such as a network that's fully supported by equipment vendor manufacturers receiving regular, timely cybersecurity and operational updates to protect city systems and data. 2, a scalable, resilient, agile, secure, and efficient architecture that is responsive to evolving regulatory, strategic, and operational opportunities, plus expandable for frequently changing IT industry technology standard changes. 3, IT network administrative improvements, for example, automated services and internal controls that mitigate errors and reduce administrative burden. And lastly, increased bandwidth for city growth and innovation, along with building a foundation for future data and analytics business capabilities. The blanket purchase authorization with Insight Public Sector provides flexibility for the city's short and long-term business technology success. Insight is the current technology value-added reseller authorized in the city's network infrastructure vendor agreement. Insight offers access to competitive public purchase agreements. The council approved purchase order 8481 in February 2022 for a 2-year, $770,000 authorization that enabled IT to use Insight for network equipment, infrastructure, and operation systems, software, annual maintenance and support agreements, and infrastructure and operations related professional services as needed. Staff is returning to council 10 months earlier than anticipated to provide an update of accomplishments since council's February 2022 approval, and to seek additional time and spending authorization to continue with the network refresh program of work. Accomplishments since council's last approval to date, an approximately 14-month period, include network hardware and or associated system software replacements at the City Hall Annex Building, Public Works Administration Building, Main Library, Wastewater Facilities, Fire Administration Building, Emergency Operations Center, Fire Stations 1, 6, and 7, Fleet Administrative Offices, and the City Attorney's Office. This slide highlights the city IT's planned scope of work. First, the extension of the PO's end date and the increase in the not-to-exceed spending authorization will allow for both scheduled replacements and get contingency for emergencies and the unforeseen needs of city departments. Second, it will provide the city with license usage rights, maintenance and support, software updates, plus associated infrastructure operations professional services that keep the city's network running reliably and protected from cyber threats. Third, it will enable continued network refresh progress with minor upgrades for all facilities throughout the city's many work locations. The renewal requires $1,865,000 of added funding, coupled with a 28-month extension, which is from 2/15/24 through June 30th, 2026. This modifies the PO total spend authority from the current $770,000 for 24 months to $2,635,000 for a 52.5-month period. Here's a table showing the projected costs categorized from annual maintenance support fees, network infrastructure improvements, and contingency. Column 1 shows actual and projected costs for these three categories, totaling approximately $1.2 million for the period of February 2022 through June 30th, 2024, which is 28.5 months. Column 2 shows projected costs for the three categories, totaling $715,000 for fiscal year 24-25, a 12-month period from July 1st, 24 through June 30th, 2025. And column 3 shows projected costs for the categories totaling $715,000 for fiscal year 25-26, also a 12-month period from 7/1/25 through June 30th, 2026. In summary, over the 52.5-month total term of this PO, with its revised not to exceed total of $2,635,000 in funding, the estimated annual maintenance support costs are $1 million, approximately 38% of total spend. Network improvement is approximately $1.4 million, 55% of total spend, and contingency is $195,000. Funding is in IT's current fiscal year budget and will be requested in future fiscal year operational budgets. Some portion of these infrastructure and operations network costs may also be allocated to other department budgets and grants. The recommendation is that the Finance and Governance Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the mayor to extend purchase order 8481 for information technology goods and services with Insight Public Sector, Inc., by revising its expiration date from February 15th, 2024 to June 30th, 2026, and raising the not to exceed amount from $770,000 to $2,635,000 over an additional 20-month period. This concludes my presentation. IT department staff will be available at the 4/25/23 Finance Governance Committee meeting to answer questions. Thank you.